People, I'm back with a new challenge idea. The last challenge I completed I thought was going to be more difficult than it ended up being, so that means we need to up the difficulty even more. For those of you who are familiar with the channel, you're going to know that I do not play safe and conservative, I play fast and reckless. This is probably because I'm not a hardcore player, also probably because I'm not very good, but I probably started playing this way because death has limited consequences. I have never ever played hardcore, so this is going to be my first ever playthrough of hardcore. And that alone would probably be a big enough challenge on its own, but I'm not taking any chances. I want top tier difficulty. So on top of this being my first ever playthrough, I'm going to complete it, or try and complete it, without using any stat points. So normally, even in non-hardcore, you are stacking vitality, and I can imagine in hardcore that you are doing this even more so. I should probably do some research on how people play hardcore, because I have no idea, but I'm going to take the Dean Lerner approach, which is this.
I am self-taught. In fact, I've made it a point of honour never to learn anything from anyone else.
Alright, I think I'm locked in on Druid. I think that's the character class that I want to give this a go on. And we are going to do this as pro gamers on our first try. So we are going to call him first try. We're going to hit our little hardcore button. And... alright. Wish me luck, people. I'll check in with you in a bit. The rules are simple. No stat points, and don't die. Alright, so I've just finished Den. Didn't really pose any issues. I ran everything on Players 5. I have no idea what the standard hardcore players count is, but Players 5 seem to have been working pretty good. I'm just putting some points into Poison Creeper and just sort of kicking back. I've also noticed I don't even have enough strength to wear a scepter, so I'm going to probably have to find some items to give me some strength, just so I can wear some items along the way. Apart from that, everything's pretty cruisy at the moment. Alright, so I thought I'd check in super quickly. I've just had a helm upgrade, so that's giving me 2 to Poison Creeper, 1 to Rave, and 1 to Firestorm, which brings my Poison Creeper up to level 10 at the moment. My strategy that I'm running with is basically 1 point into Oak Sage. I will obviously put more into this because I'm going to be relying on this to help supplement the fact that I don't have much life, but for now 1 point is enough, and then I am just putting Poison Creeper for my damage. Eventually I'm going to be transitioning over here into my shapeshifting, or either Werebear or Werewolf, because that is, once again, that is also going to be giving me a bunch more life. These summons are probably going to help for survivability as well, because they're going to be able to tank up front. And throughout normal, I will transition from poison over here into fire, and that will carry me through the remainder of normal once Poison Creeper dies off. That is the strategy so far. I'm still running everything on Players 5. I am not really having any issues with anything at the moment. I haven't even really had to change my playstyle, so I could be getting ahead of myself, but at the moment, nothing is posing too much of a massive problem for me. We just found a gold dagger. Now this could prove for some interesting magic find with Andy. Might help us along. Look at this location here. Looks like we've run in tower a few times. That is so good. Oi. Righto. Alright, so I'm about to run in for what I imagine is going to be the first of many contest runs. You are also going to notice that I have put a point into Cyclone Armor and also into Werebear for survivability purposes, which brings my total life up to 175, which is pretty good for this early on. Alright, we've just hit level 17, so that means we can put our stealth on, so we may just jump back to town super quickly and throw that stealth on, because that's going to help with our movement and poison res and all the rest of it. Oh, we're losing that 2 to strength. I wonder if I can shop some boots with some strength. We've got boots with dex, but nothing with strength at the moment. For now, I'm just going to ignore it, and eventually I'll just check vendors, and we'll get one with strength eventually. But for now, I'm just going to ignore the shield. I would rather have the stealth than the shield, so we're just going to ignore that for now. Huh. Ah, it's like it was meant to be. Shields back on the menu, boys. Right, I've run tower enough. I am currently level 18, and we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to now drop this down because I've got to a level that I'm happy with. I'm going to drop this back down to Players 1, and we're just going to zoom straight through to Act 2 now. Right, I've made my way down to Endariel, and I have put the players count up to Players 3 for Endariel, just because of the Gold Dagger, which I have on swap here. So I figure with a Players 3 kill, with the 100% magic find on the quest drop, maybe she'll drop us something. I'm not actually 100% certain what normal Andy can drop that would be good. I know it's not a lot. It's probably just a few set items. At this point, we'll just try and get something, because we've got a Gold Dagger, and why not use it? Alright, we got the Gold Dagger out, and she drops us nothing. But I'm going to be safe and reset that. So just quickly, while I'm working my way through to Duriel, I thought I'd just stop in and show you how we're doing. So basically I've got a whole bunch of summons at the moment, and I'm just kind of kicking back. Eventually I'm going to make a edge bow for our mercenary, so we can kind of get the thorns going on our summons, and we should be big chillin'. The problem at the moment is that I feel like the vine, I feel like is kind of starting to teeter off. It's still doing okay, but I feel like it's on the verge of teetering. So before I go into Duriel, I'm thinking that I may actually respec into Fisher, which I knew I was going to have to do eventually anyway, but I might as well do it right before I go into Duriel, just so we can try and have a little bit of an easier time with him. So before we go poking our pole into Duriel's orifice here, we're going to go and jump back to Act 1, and we're going to do a quick respec. Alright, so I've just hit the respec, and now I need to start actually thinking about what I'm doing. So it didn't really matter before, but this is going to lock us in all the way through the rest of this playthrough, or this difficulty at the very minimum. Right, so this is what I've settled on, and this could be a huge mistake, but I don't really know what else to do. So I've put 10 into Fisher. I have put 3 into Cyclone Armor. I haven't put anything into Shapeshifting at the moment, because I can't cast Fisher and things when I'm in Shapeshifting form. Eventually, I'm going to need to go into this, because just the increased life is just crazy when you start going into, like, Werebear and Lycanthropy. So I have no choice. Eventually, I will need to go into that. But just to get through normal and the need to cast Fisher, I kind of need to bypass that. So I've put 4 into Oak Sage for now, and we'll see how that goes. And we've put 1 point down here in the summons, which is just hopefully going to draw the aggro off of me. So that's kind of the best I've got at the moment, and we're just going to have to see how it goes. The main problem is that I'm sort of split between all 3 trees with what I'm trying to do. So I just don't have enough stat points to do what I really want to do. The last thing to note is I have just made a leaf, so that can come on here, and that is going to now boost our Fisher up to level 13. Let's see how we go. Right, let's regroup for a second. Regroup for a second. Let's resummon, let's restack, and rehire Merc. The big problem is that our mana cost on the Fisher is... what is it, 15? And I only have 62, and I don't really have anything that's making that less, because I obviously have 0 stat points in anything. All right. Come on. Yeah. That was certainly not clean, but we made do, and we got it done. So, whatever. We're still alive, and he's dead. So, I would say that's a success. That brings our life to... just jump through here quickly. Brings our life to 190. So, that's not great, but it's gonna have to do. Gotta just keep an eye out for a +3 Oak Sage helm. That would really help. So I've hit level 23, which means I can start shopping a telestaff. I've been running backwards and forwards for a while now. I did find one, but it was $259,000, which was just too expensive. So I'm gonna try and find one that's cheaper than that. And then we'll have a telestaff. So this process might take a while. All right, the good news is I found one. The bad news is it's still 147,000. I only have 156,000, which means it's basically going to take all of my money to buy this. But I don't know how much more I want to keep running backwards and forwards. So I may just bite the bullet and buy this, and I will always get more money later. So I think I'm just going to send myself broke and buy a telestaff. All right, we're down to $8,000. Look at this ring. Oh, that would have been good in the last playthrough. Alright, council's down. No real issues. Hope this stat requirement goes away once I transform it. Ah, cool. Alright, let's get down there and see how we go against Mephisto. I'm up to Mephisto, and I'm going to just moat trick him, I think. I don't really fancy risking anything for him, so we're just gonna smack him with a few fishes while we're over here. Alright, cool. So, only took the one hit, which, pretty good thing I had the Spirit and the Cyclone armor on, because it possibly might have killed me. But, all in all, it wasn't too bad. Alright, Act 4, let's go. Bit tanky, but pretty easy. So I've just gone and swapped over the Ellie Imposter and got a real Ellie. So now that we've just killed Izzy, we're going to quickly run down and we're going to see if we can get an Amrune from our normal forge so that we can potentially give Ellie a edgebow, which would help our summons out, because at the moment they are only level 1 and they're just causing a distraction. But if they had some thorns on there, they're actually going to be able to help us a little bit more. So that's the plan at the moment. Woo. I'm not going to risk it. All right, we found Forge. So far, so good. We just gotta see where... Oh, there he is. What has he got? Fanat? Yeah, that's alright. Doesn't matter. We've only got... Oh, we got 230 life. That's alright. Who's worried? Not me. Alright, so we want an Amarin. You know, if you think of it in a sense that the runes just scroll in an order, with L being the lowest and M being the highest you can get from normal difficulty, we were only one away. Right, we're up to the big boy. No, 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 no. All right, if I... This is... But if I quickly swap to the telly staff, but I could potentially also die. Oh! Oh! Pro gamer! Need you. Need cyclone armor. Telly. Ah. No problem here. So I'm up to Act 5. Believe me, no one's more surprised about that than I am. And what we're going to do is we're basically just going to run up to Shank and Eldritch, and we're going to run them over and over and over to get not only experience, but also to hopefully upgrade our gear a little bit. Alright, so we've run all the way up, so I'm just going to come down here and kill Shank quickly. Throw a Fisher here. Alright, now we get Eldritch, and we're just going to rinse and repeat this over a few times. I just spent like 2 hours running Eldritch on players 8. I've just done that like an insane amount of times. Yeah, you can see how many I've done here. I started there and it sort of came down like a bit more here, a bit more. Like, yeah, that's a lot. I did this a lot, okay? I'm not going to show you clips of like all the drops because quite frankly there was just too many, but I'll show you a couple of highlight ones of some drops that I really liked, and then we'll just go over some of the gear upgrades. Alright, so as I showed, I've been doing this on players 8, and I've been stacking Magic Find as I've been going through, and I ended up with having about 75% with these gloves, the amulet, and the boots. Now, some awesome finds were obviously this charm, which has 18 to life 30 fire res, is absolutely incredible. I am going to take the Magic Find off now, and I am going to put this all res 15 and some mana there, which is really going to help my mana because, once again, Fisher is a little bit mana hungry, and it's also going to help my resistances as well. I found 2 pairs of boots, which are absolutely amazing. This pair does not have faster run walk, So I think I'm going to wear these ones here, which has 33% fire res and 20 faster run walk. And I will swap around these boots depending on which area I'm in and which resistances I need. Finally, I'm going to be swapping these gloves out, and I found 2 pairs of gloves as I was going through. I found this pair here, which has a little bit of dex, fire res, poison, and this pair here, which has lightning, half freeze duration, and 3 to dex. So they're the pair that I'm going to be wearing at the moment. And the last thing I'm going to touch on is the fact that I found a soul rune, so I could use the Ort Soul to create a lore. Ideally, I would like to find a 2 open socket class specific one with some cool skills, and then I would make a lore in that. Otherwise, there is always the insight there as a backup. So insight and lore, 2 awesome rune words that I can make, which both require a soul rune, so that's a great find as well. And that about covers the main item drops. Finally, when I come over here, you will see that I have made it up to level 38. And I have been stacking my points here into Fissure, and I have maxed my Fissure out. I have 4 in Cyclone armor, and I have 10 in an Oak Sage, with 1 point in each summon coming down here to get my Grizzly. So with a level 10 Oak Sage, when I come through here into Frigid, you are going to see that my life total is now at 325. And I'm probably going to put this back down now to players 1, and we're going to run through and rescue Anya, and then head up to Ancients. Alright, so we've just found the Ancients. I'm going to aggressively just run straight in here and see what happens. Good strategy. Just run in there and kill him. 190 stat points. What a waste. More Oak Sage. This longsword will probably get 4 sockets for a spirit, so I could probably use my Larzak quest to make a spirit sword. No, that's right. This guy. Ellie, kill him. Thank you. Good. Alright, I'm getting impatient. This run's taken a long time. And impatient is probably a bad thing for hardcore, because it probably means you're gonna die soon. But we're kind of crushing it. So, I'm not overly worried. Just like that, we're up to Bale. We are so close to beating normal. Just realized this longsword has 55 strength and 39 dex requirements. Alright, I'm going to keep it anyway, but I doubt I'm going to get that much strength and dex. I don't actually know what the best base for me with low requirements is. Maybe a broadsword. Alright, let's go and let's go try and finish Bale.
Legendary World Stone.
Easy game. All right, I was getting worried there because I ran out of mana potions at the end, so it was close. But all going to plan so far. I didn't know whether I was going to be able to complete this challenge. Basically because I don't play very smart. So I am making a distinct effort to kite more and to try and stay out of trouble and to be like strategic with my stats and my placement. So, I mean, so far so good. I obviously haven't died. That's nice. But I am concerned about hell. I'm actually even concerned about Nightmare, to be frank about it. I don't know whether I'm even going to get through Nightmare, because going through Nightmare with 25 vitality in hardcore when I've never played hardcore before seems like a horrible idea. But horrible ideas is what this channel's all about. So, I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of this ridiculous challenge. I do apologize that maybe these videos will come out a little bit slower than normal, basically because I'm not used to playing in hardcore and my playthrough is slower. Therefore, it's taking a lot longer to get through. So, I'm moving as quick as I can, and I'll get out the next episodes as soon as possible. Alright, thanks bros. I'll see you in the next one.